Hey guys, how are ya? Woo! I'm Pastor Chad from Destination Church. We're glad you're here, and thanks for joining us on part two of 5 tools and tips for spiritual growth. If you missed part 1, make sure you go back and find it. That'll set you up for jumping into the middle with us. We're on number 3 right now, and a third tool that will really help you in your daily devotional life and help you to grow spiritually is a prayer list. A prayer list. Now, right away when I say prayer list, you might be thinking of, for example, a list of family members and their names. I've got to pray for Uncle Joe. I've got to pray for my dog Fluffy. I've got to pray for Grandma whoever. And you think, okay, I'm going to pray through those names, and that's good. You should include names on your prayer list. But we want to go a little bigger than just that. Another thing you might think of when it comes to a prayer list is your personal needs. It's easy for us when we're making a prayer list to go, okay, I've got a big day at work today, and Lord, help me in my job. And Lord, I don't know what I'm cooking tonight for dinner, and help me with these kids. I'm pulling my hair out. And Lord, my car's breaking down, and Lord, and you have this list of personal needs. And those are good things too. I'm so thankful that the Lord, He wants us to bring our needs to Him. But I want to expand your idea of a prayer list beyond family members and personal needs. When you make a good prayer list, you want to think theologically. You want to think about the Lord and the Scriptures, and you want to pull from the Lord Himself and the Scriptures, and you want to incorporate those ideas into your list. I've been doing this for several years now. I have a blank, kind of like a journal book here, and each year I make a new one for the whole year. So I'm on 2020, of course, this year. That makes a lot of sense. We're not. This isn't a Back to the Future episode, but here we are, 2020, number 1, and what that means for me is day 1. So for me, that's Monday, and I've got several topics here. And so like this first set of topics is my relationship with God. And then what I've done is under that, I've written just ideas about the Lord. I brainstorm a little bit one day. It may take me, 20 minutes to set up one page that I'm going to use all year, one list on Mondays. And so I've got, okay, God is the creator, sustainer of life. I've got God's grace written down, God's power, His rule over the world. And what I'll do is I will pray through these themes about God. So I'll begin praying, Lord, thank you. You made the world. You made everything in it. You gave me life. You gave the people around me life. Help me to honor your creation. And as I'm praying, I work through this list slowly because it is pointing my prayers to the Lord first before I get to me. You'll see different topics. And I work my family into here. I work the church into here, my church life and relationships. And each year I set these up differently. So one year I prayed through the Psalms and marked them all out and went through. So incorporate a prayer list. I think that'll help you and give you something to look forward to, give you ideas to keep you praying. That's the main goal. Our third prayer list was third. We're on number 4. Pray for me that I can count. Number 4 on our 5 things list is a worship list. I've got a set worship list here that I rotate, and I use this periodically throughout the week. You want a list that you're going to get very comfortable with because you want worship to be a springboard into prayer. My caution here would be some folks would say, oh, I worship the Lord, and you should, but they never springboard on over into communication through your own words in prayer. So don't use worship as a crutch for not praying. Use worship as a launching pad for prayer, and a good way to do that is to have some songs that become so repetitive and so routine, they allow for your mind to kind of turn off the music and be that springboard and kind of center on the theme of that song towards the Lord in prayer. So have a great worship list. And number five, have a routine, set aside time. Routine and time. You need to work on a routine. The way I do it is I write it down every single day. Read, pray. Read, pray. That is code language for me on my to-do list for that day. And I can cross it off my list. Now, the point is not crossing it off. The point is the discipline behind it. And if you can find a routine that works, whether it's first thing in the morning, you say, Lord, before I even brush my teeth, I'm going to get up and pray for 10 minutes, and I'm going to pray, read the word for 10 minutes, and you start. Maybe it's lunchtime. For some people, it's their work break at lunch. For some people, it's in the evening after the day is done. It's not so important when. The important thing is you got to get into that same time routine every day, because you're going to be more consistent that way, as with any habit that's good for you. Let me caution you about just driving in the car and praying. It's a great thing. Don't close your eyes while you do it. No, all kidding aside, make sure it's good focus time. I'm not very good driving in the car, so if it works for you, have at it. But just take a self-evaluation, and that's what's good about writing it down every day, is you can look back and go, you know what, I missed a day or two here. I need to spend some extra time. I do know as a pastor, it is hard to get daily devotions in. It's a perk in pastoral ministry. It's one of the blessings that I can work that into my work schedule, and it's a benefit to us. You can read Acts chapter 6 if you're curious as to how that works, but I know it's difficult as a layperson working it into a busy schedule, but you can do it. You can do it. My father-in-law was a steel worker, and he got up at 4:30 every morning because he had to drive into St. Louis, but he got up that half hour extra or an hour extra to spend time with the Lord and do it. And the Lord has been with him year after year. So I want to encourage you in your daily devotions and your spiritual growth. I hope these tips and tools help. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what works for you, and it may help somebody else. Have a great week.